man, I'm getting all type of cash. I'm a general true. I never did anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rats in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breasts by the morning, I had a sis by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture.
You got a picture me, send me calling, ready for war like Korea, headlining shows out in Poland, you should be cleaning my mansion. My peasant's disgusting. Why don't you act like a Hoffman and go get to dustin'? Yeah, latex on my. Go clean my crown. Can't hear my haters from way up here. They don't make a sound. Body goes on these white paint on my toes. When I send a new Bay alert, gonna be mad. Jumping in the bed, then I switch to the ghost like who's you? Remember this face, cause I'm that you gon' lose to. Dripping in ice, you looking at you. It's squad goals win. Are you pretty like no?
I never did anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come in off a loss in the season opener, which doubled as the home opener.
And when you lose that way, at home, season opener, it almost feels like two losses. So it's a big fight to get yourselves ready to go to play the next week.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they come into this one after a loss in the opener, and they're in for another tough test here.
And what a battle for an organization to look at your schedule and see 2 road games to start the season and not have a letdown immediately. You got to fight against that. They've got to come out ready to play.
2 one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. Finding room at the 30. That one good for 12 yards. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football, got to him, and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Got a man. It's Brown. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by M.J. Stewart, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, it's third down. You're in a tight game in the loudest stadium in the NFL, and it's enough to rattle even the most seasoned of quarterbacks. And here, it looks like he's not quite on the same page as his receiver. This will wind up a turnover.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Still going, 4 down, 4 down.
On 2nd down, Wilson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On 1st down, Wilson toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
2nd and 10 now, Wilson. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now it's Wilson. They'll roll it, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. DeMarcus Lawrence in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. So out now is the Seattle field goal team. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Yeah, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. That often runs you into a penalty.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15.
Watch it now, Barney!
After the penalty, it's Elliott. Oh, able to avoid him. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That good for 19 and a first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. Room to run past midfield. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 12 carries, 58 yards, and a score.
And that explosive run right there reminds me that last week ran the ball really well, so they're continuing to do what they did.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Now let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
A first down carry by Elliott. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And oh, this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. Give him 30 yards there. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. The 30. 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, he tried to get rid of it. Pressure was coming right in his face, and it turned out to be a bad thing.
And it's so easy to be critical of him in that spot. When you have all those people bearing down on you, probably his last thought was just get rid of the ball. Give them what they want. Unfortunately, he gave it to them too well. Picked it off, ran it back for a touchdown.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. This will be fielded at the 8. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's completed 4 passes so far in this game. The issue is 2 of them have been to the guys in the wrong colored jersey.
So I'd say there's a little bit of clouded vision, right? Sometimes he sees clearly, sometimes he doesn't. I know on the sideline they'll be going over things and talk about what the coverages are and what they're seeing. So you used to look at the snapshots, now you look at the Microsoft Surface Pro. He's got to analyze what he's seeing and be more accurate with the ball.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 11 yards on that pickup.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop it.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Obi Melifonwu. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
An excellent pickup with 34 yards.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
Penny, a first down carry. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
On second down, here's Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets it down to the 32. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On second down, it's Jones. Down to the 25. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and has the ability to run it in, throw it, go play action, and take your shot at the end zone.
That throw good for 4. It's second down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Now Wilson on second down. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. 3rd and long. It's Wilson. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While he gets attended to, we'll step aside. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. And his kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now here come the Cowboys. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it.
And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there just before halftime. 66 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory? Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them.
And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott, his second touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys draw a bit closer. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Now Allen Robinson and company gearing up to go again on offense. Second quarter here, he has only one catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Yeah, well, so far, just the single catch. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. The give is to Jones. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Penny on the counter, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Here's a give to Penny. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at about the 14. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front as we send you cross-country to Orlando. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
How many times in the course of a game do you talk about momentum plays? And I think we just saw one there. Absolutely. Just scored, right?
Just took the lead.
Just took the lead, went downfield, got the ball free again and picked it up. They got a chance to really get the momentum on their side now.
And now they'll try to pile on. The second half starts with a carry by Jones. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Let's get it. Right, move the team.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson, quick hitter here, it's complete. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read. Figured out where the blitz was coming from and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. To throw is Wilson. And this will be incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get, because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Randy Gregory in there for a milestone sack, number 150 in his great career, as he continues to climb the all-time leaderboard.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on 3rd down, and that's going to force him into a field goal attempt.
And his kick here is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said does. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know, at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
Back to throw now on first down. He's going to air one out. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Here's Wilson to throw on second down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the
blitz coming, and down he goes. Randy Gregory in there to drop him for his second sack now here tonight.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
To throw on second down, Wilson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Looking to throw, and incomplete there. A nice hit, jars the ball free, and brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll pitch it out to Elliott. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Cowboys have cut it to within a score. Nice execution there. Good job by the O-line getting him in for the 2nd time.
And you always have to start with credit there when you're having a big game. I mean, you don't get there by yourself. That's rare. But how about the ability to see the proper holes, pick the proper place to go, and find his way into the end zone?
This will be fielded at the 8. Spinning away. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback. Because to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. The Seahawks on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Here we go now.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Cowboys have recovered.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
And out now come the Cowboys. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll run with Elliott, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Cowboys have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
There it is, partner. You see it. 4 fingers. What does that mean?
Fingers. That signifies the 4th quarter's here.
That's right. Who's going to dominate? Usually both teams are holding them up. We own the 4th quarter, what we found out so far. 2 touchdowns here, and now they've taken the lead.
Yeah, second one putting them in front. You know what I see on the other sideline, though? It seems like they've tensed up. Had that lead, they were playing not to lose it, and they've lost it.
That's a great observation. When you play not to lose, you usually don't win.
Now, though, they'll have the opportunity to respond. And a good effort on the return there gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though. Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
Now it's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
Green 80.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been terrific so far. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Now back to throw. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And down he'll go at the 25. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. He'll drop to throw. He's going to air one out. He's got him in. Complete. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. That one looks like he'll throw here. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney!
Now a first down carry by Jones. And here a juke. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
Leopard! No. Check. Patriot! Over! Watch it now, Barney!
They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball? In the air here on 3rd.
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
A lot of people call the toss a probing play to see what they can get against the defense, to see how they adjust and react. Their probing's working pretty well. That was a very nice run.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. So that's one you almost never see at this level. A wobbler from very short range, and it winds up no good.
All right, Brandon, if he slipped or someone got a hand on it, then I can understand it, but it's almost like he heard a whistle or something that stopped his swing. A very strange result, especially for an NFL kicker.
And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
He's going to let it fly, and he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
There was the pressure you were talking about, force the incompletion.
And it doesn't always have to end in a sack, does it? Sometimes you can make a good play by forcing the incompletion with the pressure.
And some room to maneuver. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Cowboys, they did what they needed to do. They split their first 2 road games of the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Look, I defeated my fears, soaked the towel in my tears. So ahead of my time, what comes next are all my oldest ideas. I'm wiser than my chin check y'all in y'all beard. I'm willing to father my peers, all of my peers for all of my years. Out in the field, take a look at my shoes. Never had a thought that it might lose. Considering the cost, I had to give them my dues. Never got a talk to it like you. I've been feeling like a king for months. We eat all the rich cuisine for lunch. All these wishing he was done. Oh, you tried it, that's a piece of gum. Now, look at me, I'm the captain now. I'm recruiting this year. I be praying for y'all while I'm praying for y'all. Like a lot of abusing this deer. I hate to do it with no plans. Now I usually get near. Oh, I ask her man, cause I'm the mutant in here. We look good, just show us where the camera. Years ago, I had to up my standards. Make your Mrs. Alabama. Turn it to my only private. Swear like she don't got the answers. Who's the boss? I feel like Tony Danza. Walk up in there like I got the swag. What kind of swagger? I'm the blackest panther. Wakanda, y'all are wasting your time. I spend it, but I ain't wasting a dime. Might do some favors, but I ain't breaking my spine. Your girl has been calling for days. I get in all different ways. That New Orleans parades. Yeah, we like, none of my people are patient. We look like we on a vacation. Get no invitation. Y'all y'all all with it, and y'all talk a lot, but y'all ain't got the heart to do the mission. I'm hard-headed like the juggernaut, but there ain't nothing I can do to listen. I'm authentic and I walk around like I just ate, but let you do the dishes. I'm Clark Kent, but mix the Autobots and mix with everything that you've been missing. Please get back and don't get that involved. Freaking sick, I need a pad of walls. I'm the king, heavy crown, heavy rain, cat and dogs. Homie with me if you're asking for it. There ain't much that he be asking for. He just wanna have a paddock on with a watch face with little dragon balls. Look, you don't need me either. All I need is this. No coca ice, and I get oh so polite. You be the man of your city, I'll be the man of my country. You could be the man of your city, I'ma be the man of my country. Your girl has been calling for days. I get that in all different ways. The world is parades, yeah, we like. None of my people are patient. We look like we on a vacation. Get no invitation, yeah, we like. Your girl has been calling for days. I get that in all different ways. Yeah, I'm like, none of my patient. We look like we on a vacation.
I sound it.
Okay, I'm back to school, you. This is open campus. This is, I should slap it open-handed. Tough life, I told the model she need lower standards. Asked her if she had a twin, I feel like Joey Tanner. Big spender, Kris Jenner, I promote the family. Kardashian, see the benzo, she like, oh, it's happening. Think she call me, cause she never knew her daddy. And my all black, Rhythm Nation, Janet, boy, don't make me Jackson. Bodily, was underground. Frontin' like a ride with the mob. Why shouldn't I charge me, myself, and I? Play the odds, a yes man, it's just a bobblehead doll. Holler them all. Strutting like Pac out the court, hop out the Porsche. Shake that, got that on menu, the a la carte. Boy, I had to make my point about this wave. Watch for the sharks bounce. I gave it up and talking Cuban links. Tell her ain't no weak link in my Cuban link. Only like my age. We was gangin' since the platinum FUBU days. I got dreams of being Hova out your movie, yay. Listen, babe, so good you'll think I'm cool with yay. Okay, my diamonds dancing, I could Lisa Ray. Life is hard, but it's easy being truthful, baby. For real, overload. This is like I got like my pinky. Money, baby, we don't pay, it ain't ours. Bet it back, I bet I match it like the same style. Chopsticks for beef, I'm shutting PF chains down. I gave you prophecy, my first one, then you lamed out. Luckily, sold, but it wasn't for me. Still the flow raw, peep the way I bubble in these streets. Who can with me?
Nikki, baby.
Go.
G go too fast. I don't need one no seatbelt. Bad little got no upgrade. Now she got. How about the range on? Who is the baby? He going in. Man, these old rappers getting boring. They be taking shots, I ignore them. Send them to the hood while I'm touring. Making plays out of town like I'm Jordan. Need to go get your. Walk on my way, I'ma score it. Lamborghini, I don't want no Porsches. I'm on fire, don't touch me, I'm tortured. Had the fish on my teeth, I went porcelain. Put the time on my back, I'm a horseman. One more year, I'ma make it a Forbes. They load me in the bay like he's 40. I be sitting inside of the Moreland. Ain't no screens attached, keeping it cordless. She keep calling, but I keep ignoring it. Ain't no stopping, I'm keeping it for it. Man, they can't stop me, I'm going it. Man, they can't stop me, I'm going it. Every time I'm gone, I get another. different.